Hello, my name is Karr. I live in Los Angeles. I'm a film director and a rock photographer. I grew up in Seattle, Washington. I worked in a cemetery there for 6 years, which probably helped fuel my dark side of the coin, which I've sort of made my mark as being the dark artist. Some of the artists I've worked with, it could go from something so mellow like the Dave Matthews Band, like to Slayer, and everything in between, like Ozzy Osbourne, Stevie Nicks, R&B. I've really kind of hit every genre of music. Country, Willie Nelson. I'm fortunate I get to work with all those types of music. When we were little in Seattle, we would take apart a Canon AE-1. We would take the lens off the body. My grandpa gave me that camera. It was my first camera. And we put the body and the lens in plastic bags, and we would put them down our underpants. right at the bottom of our underwear, and then we would meet in the public bathroom in two stalls next to each other and build the camera, and then we would have a camera snuck into Black Sabbath or Van Halen, Judas Priest. I had this professional camera, and I was shooting all my favorite rock bands when I was like 15 years old, and it's just funny now. It's because all those bands are still around, and I work with all those bands now. But I was shooting all those bands since I was 15 years old. Here's head of Ozzy Osbourne for my first video with Ozzy. His signature's rubbing off, but he's not a very good speller. He wanted to say, "To a great guy, best wishes, Ozzy Osbourne," but he spelled great, G-R-A-T, so I'm what's known as a grat guy. And he's where my fingers pulling his mouth back when we did the mold, and I was sitting on a stool behind him, and he's completely covered in plaster, breathing through tubes into his nose, and my stool broke, and it broke out of the mold, and he got up and hit. There was like this plaster-headed monster, but "Oh, sure," you could hear him mumbling in there. But we almost lost this one, but that one was unique to me because those were my fingers. I listen to exactly the same music I listened to when I was 15, man. I don't know. It's definitely not a bad thing, because these bands are still selling out 60,000 person stadiums when some new young band, can barely sell out the Roxy or something. So I'm doing something right. I'm hanging out with the ones that matter, that can fill a large stadium. So I listen to a lot of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, Ministry, Killing Joke. Listening to that type of music at a young age just really fueled my ability to want to resist everything. It was combined because I was going to all boys Catholic school too, so it was just great fuel for the fire for taking out my frustrations on the Catholic school system. When we're talking about 666, the number of the beast, things like that. The music has helped create my style because of the lyrics and the dark content of what most of my bands are singing about. These are a lot of my prosthetic masks and stuff from past music videos or album covers. For example, this Iron Maiden head was the album cover for Brave New World, as well as the actor in their music video for the song The Wicker Man wore that as he rode off into the sunset in my 1970 Challenger. And This was head of Dave Matthews Band. We took up the Amazon. We filmed the band in Pasadena, and then we molded his head and took it up the Amazon, and the natives held the head along the Orinoco River, and the head magically starts singing through the art of post-production. He lives in there though. Most of these were gifts. These guitars from past videos and things like that. This was like Tommy Lee's to Ministry. I've got a couple Ace Frehley guitars from Kiss. Zach Wilde, Rob Zombie, fucking Sex Pistols too, dude. Right here, the real bass player, Glenn Matlock. Newer artists I like, I mean, I love Mastodon, I love High on Fire. These bands have already been around for a while, so it's kind of hard to call them new bands. But as far as getting onto my radar, where I still listen to that stuff when I was 15, I would consider Mastodon and High on Fire new bands. That was a gift from Kerry King from Slayer after I directed their Still Raining movie in Maine, where we actually rained blood on the band. We had an irrigation system above the stage, and we had 2 Augusta, Maine fire trucks outside full of stage blood, and they pumped it through their fire hoses, and then it came into the arena and then rained blood on the band. They'd always wanted to do it, but they never had done it before, so I got to be the first guy to rain blood on Slayer. I like a lot of different things, but if you want to know what makes my heart tick, that's what's in my soul there. If I started bleeding, you'd have all these great metal bands just dripping out.